For 3 or 4 months ago, I was at work, I was in the lunchroom and I picked up this amazing scent of somebody. So I started looking around and I couldn't really pinpoint which one of my co-workers was wearing this amazing fragrance. So a couple of hours later, I was in the lunchroom once again and I got the same whiff again, and I started looking around and I realized I was the only fucker in the room. And the fragrance I was wearing was Dior Homme Sport 2021. But that's not all we're gonna talk about today in this video. I'm gonna do a little bit of a different kind of a video. I'm gonna respond to some comments that made on my account. I'm gonna share a Fragrantica review with you. I'm gonna share some unpopular opinions and I'm gonna explain why I don't agree with Aaron Terence Huge on his review about Dior Homme Sport 2021. So let's get into it. Hello, my name is Tim and you're all welcome to another edition of Smelly Sweet. So let's start with the Fragrantica review. I'm gonna try and post it right next to me here so you can read it as well. This review is on Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. If you can read the review, you see that he had to wash it off. It only was the third time that ever happened to him. He disliked the iris marshmallow kind of iris they use. But still, he's able to say that the longevity is above average. Well, how the fuck can you know that if you wash it off after 3 hours? So I thought to myself, well, here's a dude screaming for attention. On Fragrantica, you can find a bunch of comedy, pure comedy. Now, he might have tried it several times after he washed it off the first time, maybe getting around to it, but anyway, that's his opinion and it's fine. I just question myself sometimes when I read reviews, above all on Fragrantica, are they really true to themselves? Because you can't really say that a fragrance is above average longevity if you wash it off after 3 hours. Now let's take a look at some comments made on my account. The first one: you are an idiot. What can I say? The line between genius and idiot is very, very thin. And I forgive you for this honest mistake, because for the less talented people it might be difficult to spot the difference. Next comment we're gonna look at is this one, made on my 16 expensive fragrances that I still think is worth it. He starts off with, do you call that expensive fragrances? I've got this from Bois de Sea, I've got this, and they cost so much more. Imagine that the only flex you have in your fucking pathetic life is that you spend way too much money on fragrances. You are so deluded that you even pay so much overpriced for fragrances as you did for those from Bois de Sea. Honestly, this is by far the most pathetic comment I've ever read, because you can imagine yourself, if you're on the other side of the screen, imagine yourself that you buy expensive fragrances to be able to brag about that they are expensive. I mean, you pay a way of a hell of a lot more money than what you actually cost, that is for the first, but then brag about it that you're stupid. I just don't fucking get it. And that is kind of leading me into unpopular opinions. But before we do that, we're gonna talk a little bit about the fragrance that I had in the start here, Dior Homme Sport 2021. And me disagreeing with Aaron Terence Huge. How the fuck do you spell that? How do you say that name in English? Huge. Here comes Huge. He's big. No, serious. I respect him. I respect ATH, let's call him that. I respect his knowledge, I respect his work with his fragrance brand, and I respect what he has done with YouTube. So I have nothing but respect. But when he did a review about this particular fragrance, I was a little bit disappointed. I only clicked that link to hear his thoughts about the fragrance. It was an 8-minute video. 2 minutes, he shared his thoughts about the fragrance. 6 minutes, he talked about what he would do to make this fragrance better. And then I questioned, why the hell would you try and make perfection better? Anyway, let's share my thoughts about this fragrance then. Well, as I said, it's subjective. It might be only me that think it is perfect with the sport name in it. But it opens up with a bunch of sharp lemon and bergamot together with all the heights. It gives it some airiness to it. And then you have LME in the base, in the heart here, that gives it a green, woody, piney aspect to the composition, and that gets enhanced by the olibanum in the base, pushing that green color a little bit more, together with some soft, warm roots and amber. That is the easiest way to describe this fragrance. So citrus, green, woody. And let's push a little bit back to the start of this video, because this is a fragrance that I thought was gone after 1 to 2 hours. I was so disappointed in that. But then it still keeps on pushing, giving the sillage, the scent trail, the projection 5 hours in. So it's a great performing fragrances for being a citrus, aldehydes, woody, greeny fragrance. Great longevity in my opinion, 8 hours, and it projects for 5 hours, as I said. Now, it might feel that it is gone. You might go nose blind to it, but then you get that lovely whiff from it. And when you are at the gym, or when you get your body heat, when your body heat is high, it projects massively. It is a beast projecting fragrance in that case. But you will never ever be the perfume boy with this beautiful fragrance, because the projection is massive, but it is such a smooth scent aura around you, so you won't be the obvious perfume boy, and it's fucking beautiful. As I said with the opening, yeah, sharp lemon, that is for sure. A sharp lemon might for some people make them think of some cleaning products or something like that, but just give it like I said, 10-15 seconds, and that lemony already starts to become a little bit smoother. That is my opinion about Dior Homme Sport 2021. The best fragrance in my opinion with sport in it. So what I'm disagreeing with Terence Huge is that I think it is perfect. There's no need to do any changes to this fragrance, because as I said, for warm activities in the hot summer's days, you're gonna smell amazing. And I left out something very, very important. This is my most complimented citrus aldehydic fragrance I have in my collection. I can't say it's the most complimented because I only had it for a half of a year, about that, so it would be rich, but I've already gained more compliments from this fragrance at gym activities than I ever got from Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and I've been using that a lot. So Dior Homme Sport definitely is something you need to try, the 2021 release. Now, let's move on to some unpopular opinions. And the first unpopular opinion is that Paco Rabanne is a techie brand. I'm sorry, but just look at the bottles. They are targeting persons between 13 up to 16 years old. That is what they are targeting. Also with the scents, in my opinion, I feel they are very, very juvenile. I mean, you have the gold bottle, gold tech bottle, have been around for ages now, but to me it just looks so fucking cheap, and it feels like they are trying to sell you the picture of that you are a rich person. And I just don't think that those fragrances smell good. I can't talk down the fragrances. They are good, solid fragrances with great longevity and great projection, but I can't feel that those fragrances smells expensive. And with that fucking robot bottle, I don't even know the name of that fucking fragrance because I don't care. I don't care if that bottle had a juice that was such a fucking great novelty fragrance. I wouldn't care, because the bottle for me puts me off 100%, and I feel that they are targeting even younger people here. They are targeting 10 years old, 11 years old, or just persons that have a nerdiness to them in the kind of a way that they are Star Trek fans, Star Wars fans and stuff like that. I just don't get it. That fragrance, I must admit, I haven't even fucking smelled it. I just don't feel the need to smell it. Now let's talk a little bit about Invictus. In my opinion, the wearer of Invictus, the only trophy he will ever get is the Invictus bottle. He will never ever have a trophy in his whole life that he has won. He might get a trophy if he pays for it. That's my view on Invictus. Another unpopular opinion is that I see gender in fragrances. Today it's so much, no, there's no gender in fragrances. You wear what you want, you wear whatever you want. Yes, you wear what you want, whenever you want, wherever, whatever. Oh, fuck that. You wear what you want. That is simply as it gets. But I see gender in fragrances, and that is my opinion. But obviously, that makes me question myself. What do I think is feminine or what do I think is masculine? For me, feminine note, as I said before, is iris. Iris, when it goes in that lipsticky makeup way, I feel that that is feminine. I also feel that rose is kind of feminine. And I know that this is a cultural differences as well, because in some cultures rose feels like a very masculine scent. But I have to stay true to my opinion, my beliefs, because if I start to share what other people think, I feel that I lose all my fucking credibility. So I am gonna say that I smell gender in fragrances, but I also say wear whatever you want. Makes me to start talk a little bit about the besserwissers out here, and some people just taking this fragrance thing way too serious. It's like life and death for them. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm friends with a couple, I know, a bunch of people where I have different opinions. We don't share the same taste, we don't share the same opinions, but we can still be friends because we know that this business is fucking subjective. If that makes me old-fashioned, fine. If that makes me a macho man, fine. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I couldn't care less about your opinion about me, because I am who I am and nothing's gonna change that. Now let's take a look back to this video when I said that imagine your only flex being that you pay too much for fragrances. That makes me think about another unpopular opinion, and this is kind of a 50-50. 50% might agree with me, 50% might disagree with me, but I think that Creed fragrances are the most overpriced fragrances in this business. So that leads me into a video I'm currently working at. Are the fragrance brands milking us? I believe they are. I believe that there are many fragrance brands milking us, and it is a topic I'm working on, because we also have the fact that if I think it's worth it, I'm still gonna buy it, even though I know I pay too much money. So I'm working on that video, and hopefully I will be able to start recording it in 1 week or 2 weeks. I have a result to show you. But again, let's turn back to that comment. He is proud of being milked dry by the fragrance brands. Fucking hell. That was all for today, my friends. You know what I usually say by now. For you who stayed this long, big thank you. For you who still think that I'm a waste of fucking space, that I steal your precious air, piss off. What the fuck are you doing here? To the rest of you, see you around.